Hello everyone, it's Daishogun here for MilkGaming yet again, and well, in the past couple of hours, as far as I know anyway, Activision have released the official gameplay reveal for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. So obviously, as I've done with the other trailers, I'm going to give you a bit of a run through through it, and I'm also going to give you some of my thoughts based on what's in there, because it's a bit interesting, because by showing us gameplay, they're kind of showing us some very key facts about the game, and they've also given us a release date. So let's get straight into it. So obviously it starts with the usual ESRB stuff, and then it starts off with the 3 and America, and we see New York getting attacked through various forms. There's also a SOP mod M4 there. You know, everything's getting destroyed as usual. There's the SAS troops from England using silenced MP5Ks by the looks of it, and this train scene, so obviously there's going to be underground subway stuff, which will be pretty interesting in England. Then in France we see the Eiffel Tower and that kind of stuff. It seems more of street warfare there, and then and also, yeah, it just keeps going. And then we've got Germany, and this seems a lot more like it reminds me of World War II a lot, with the planes and stuff, and then obviously the massive building falling. And then finally we have everyone running and the guy talking in the background.
To create the next global conflict.
That person there, I think, is carrying a flamethrower or a silenced submachine gun, but I'm not sure about that. And then obviously the rest of this is just set pieces with various weapons. In terms of weaponry, there's nothing new and interesting in there. Most of the stuff that we see here is AK-47s, MP5s of some sort, and M4s which are modified. So I'm presuming it's just soft mod MP4s. Obviously World War 3 then flips over to become Modern Warfare 3. Now, this is probably the best part of the whole trailer, believe it or not, because at the very end of the trailer we get two things. First of all, the 11th of the 8th 11, which in the American date system means that the game is going to be coming out on the 8th of November 2011, which is not surprising news, because I predicted it. I didn't predict it, but based off rumours from last time, we could kind of see that. And also it's a kind of tradition for Call of Duty games to release on those kinds of days in November, that first kind of week. But the more interesting part is Sledgehammer Games is definitely working on this game, along with Infinity Ward. So Infinity Ward isn't dead, by the looks of it. So they've obviously got some sort of development team together, and they've got Sledgehammer Games working with them. The more interesting thing is that there is no platforms listed for this game. Now, if you rewind back to earlier this year, I think February, March, probably even January, when the NGP got announced, Activision announced that they were going to be releasing a Call of Duty title for the NGP, which is Sony's new portable. So for all we know, there will be a portable version of Modern Warfare 3, and depending on when the NGP gets released, that is obviously, and also we're likely to see a 3DS or a DS spin-off, as we have seen with Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 1 and World at War. So going off that, it'll be interesting to see whether or not the reason why they got Sledgehammer Games is actually because they're working on the PC and major console versions, or it's because they're actually working on portable versions of the game. That'll be interesting to see. Well, I'm really surprised that they're actually going to say Infinity Ward is working on it, because I highly doubt that there is very much involvement from them at all. My gut reaction is that Sledgehammer is doing most of the work here, and that the Infinity Ward brand is just being put on there because gamers appreciate Infinity Ward. To be honest, it's not going to really work anymore because of what they've done to Infinity Ward, but that's, Activision marketing working to their advantage. Now, onto the other thing, the gameplay there. Although there was a lot of set pieces, a lot of explosions and stuff, and it looked really cool, there were a couple of disappointing things to note. So first off, we can definitely tell it's based off the same engine of Modern Warfare 2. Obviously we don't see any actual gameplay. This is in-game engine, but there's no actual gameplay. And the other thing to note also is that this in-game engine rendered stuff might not necessarily be at the same graphical fidelity and at the same frame rate as what you'll experience in the real game. So what I mean by that is, in some of those scenes, you're seeing, these planes smash into buildings and explosions going everywhere and stuff like that. Just because it's rendered, just because it appears that it comes from the game, it doesn't mean that it hasn't been pre-rendered so that it actually runs at that speed. So it'll be interesting to see. There definitely is no graphical upgrade from what I can tell, which isn't a bad thing because Modern Warfare games haven't looked bad in the past, so there's really no need to crack your voice or to actually, up Activision's Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer's game in that department. There's no need for them to do that. It'll be interesting what they can still do with the engine, though, because, to be honest, it is getting very, very, very similar. Although there's a couple of different things between each game, other than a couple of features, there's really no major difference in the shooting mechanics between Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, Call of Duty World at War, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and now Call of Duty Black Ops. And if it's going to continue the trend and just waltz into Modern Warfare 3, I'm sorry, but I think I'll be disappointed by the game, because Battlefield 3, go look at that. That absolutely looks amazing, and DICE are doing some fantastic stuff with that game. So unless Modern Warfare 3 steps up, unless Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer games are able to step up to the plate, I don't see how Modern Warfare 3 is going to be very good. They're saying, the rumours, a couple of new rumours have come out now, which corroborate what we've found from before. So, there's going to be Spec Ops missions, apparently. There's going to be 15 single-player missions spanning across the 4 countries that we saw. But also, and the other thing I find interesting is they don't mention Russia, and presuming it is a Russian invasion, this won't be the last game, I can tell from now, because it'll be one of those stories where, we fought off their invasion, and they'll be able to set up another game where it'll be like, let's go back to Russia and whoop their asses, which is a bit dragging up the story a bit too much. I think they need to do something new with the franchise at this point. It's getting very, very, very old, and it's beginning to wear very, very, very thin with a lot of gamers. As you saw from the trailer, lots of set pieces, lots of vehicle action, that kind of stuff. But to be honest, it's a bit of a, I don't know. The trailer really does pump you up for the game, and it makes you think it's going to be really, 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 really good game. But I don't know. I don't see how adding more explosions is going to do anything else. Like, for example, we had Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, where you had that nuke go off in the helicopter, if you guys remember. And that was a really, really, really intense moment in the game, and it added so much to the game. And then they tried to do that too many times in Modern Warfare 2, because they'd have all these near-death experiences, and they did an EMP. And then it was kind of like, who gives a shit? It's an EMP. For Americans, it might have a bit more, substance, because it happened on the White House, and you can see the White House getting destroyed. But still, for me, it was just kind of like, whatever, get on with the game. I don't see how explosions and more destruction is going to get them anywhere, to be honest. If there's no major engine updates, and they're not able to actually add anything new to the mix, then I can't see how this is going to be some revolutionary Modern Warfare title. It's just going to be, your run-of-the-mill Call of Duty game. Although that said, it was pretty much the same thing for Black Ops, and look how much money that made. That sold like crazy on day one, because a lot of people will buy Call of Duty simply because it is Call of Duty. So, that pretty much sums up my little rant, I guess you could say, on Modern Warfare 3. The trailer, like I said, looks great, but still, until I see some actual gameplay, because this wasn't really gameplay, although Activision want to say it is, I'm sorry, it's not. When I see some actual gameplay, then I'll start to think about it. But simply adding, vehicles in and adding more set-piece scenarios isn't going to do much. It's going to make the single-player campaign more explosive and make it a bit more intense, perhaps, but it isn't going to go far in addressing the problem that is the fact that Call of Duty is facing a problem here. It's going to die as a brand name. It's going to go down the same road as Guitar Hero and DJ Hero have, because it's been oversaturated. You're releasing a title every year, and each year the title isn't changing much. So, I don't know. Well, I guess I can't be too critical of the game, only because we don't know what multiplayer is going to be like, and as we all know, multiplayer is the key part of these games. At the end of the day, the single player isn't going to, win you any, isn't going to sell any copies for Activision, and it's not going to get any good reviews from critics, to be honest. It's the multiplayer that does it. So it'll be interesting to see what they can come up with for multiplayer, but I don't really know. If they're going to go back to the Modern Warfare 2 formula, it'll be great, because I know Modern Warfare 2 was a fine game. It was fantastic, but I seriously see Battlefield 3 really being a real threat. You know, where Battlefield Bad Company 2 was a threat to Modern Warfare 2, it didn't really dent its appeal. I can really see Battlefield 3 absolutely tearing Modern Warfare 3 apart if Activision just rehash the same game over and over again. So yeah, like I said, that's the end of my rant about Modern Warfare 3. I hope you enjoyed the trailer. Stick around MilkGaming for some more news and stuff like that, and, you know, gameplay and stuff. Sorry I didn't have anything this weekend other than the Gears of War 3 gameplay. Go check that out if you are interested in Gears of War 3. It was a fantastic game. Well, it is a fantastic game, sorry. The beta was amazing, so you should go check out that video that I made. Otherwise, yeah, I'll see you guys later, and I hope you enjoyed today's little rant.